They say heartbreak changes a man. But the truth is, heartbreak doesn't change you. It reveals who you truly were all along. The man you become after she leaves is the man that was always hiding inside you, beneath the validation seeking, beneath the overgiving, beneath the fear of losing her. When she walks away, it's not the end. It's the beginning of seeing yourself clearly, maybe for the first time in your life. Because let's be honest, most men don't fear being alone. They fear being forgotten. They fear being replaced. They fear realizing that their entire sense of worth was built around whether one woman loved them or not. That's why so many men break when she leaves, not because she took something from them, but because she exposed how much of themselves they gave away without boundaries. The mindset that no woman can break begins with this truth: you were never meant to be completed by her. You were meant to be complimented, but never completed. Once you understand that difference, everything changes. You stop chasing approval and start commanding respect. You stop begging for love and start embodying it. You stop being emotionally reactive and start being emotionally grounded. And when you reach that level, no woman, no rejection, no silence can break you, because you're no longer built from her validation. You're built from your discipline. Most men get this backwards. They think strength comes from pretending not to care. But real strength comes from caring deeply and still staying centered. You can love her, you can miss her, you can want her, but never let that want destroy your peace. A woman will test your emotions to see what you're made of. Life will do the same. If both can shake you, then neither respects you. And the man who cannot remain grounded when the world spins around him will always be controlled by the world. Here's what every man needs to understand. Women don't break strong men. Weak foundations do. A woman can only destroy you if she becomes the thing you live for. And the only reason she becomes that is because you've forgotten what you were meant to live for. Your purpose, your path, your progress. The reason you wake up every day and face the fight. When you forget your mission, you become addicted to emotion. You trade direction for desire. You start chasing moments that make you feel loved instead of becoming a man who is already full of love for himself and his purpose. And that's where most men lose themselves, in the illusion that peace will come when someone finally chooses them. No, peace comes when you finally choose yourself. Let me tell you, something most men never hear, and being emotionally strong doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being emotionally intelligent. It means understanding that every feeling has a message, but not every feeling deserves a reaction. You can feel pain and still be powerful. You can feel fear and still move forward. You can feel loss and still remain grounded. Because the difference between a broken man and an unbreakable man isn't what happens to them. It's how they respond to what happens. That's the mindset you must master. The mindset that says, I will feel everything, but nothing will own me. When you reach that point, you stop being scared of love. You stop being scared of heartbreak. You stop being scared of rejection, because all of those things are temporary. What's permanent is who you become after facing them. There's a reason why the most powerful men throughout history were Stoics. They didn't avoid emotion, they mastered it. They understood that feelings come and go like weather, but character is the mountain that never moves. When a storm comes, the weak man blames the wind. The strong man anchors himself deeper into the ground. That's what mastery looks like. That's what strength looks like. So the next time a woman pulls away, the next time you're left on red, the next time she says she needs space, don't panic, don't chase, don't crumble. Sit with yourself. Feel the discomfort. Let it sharpen you. Because every time you resist the urge to beg for attention, you build self-respect. Every time you say, I'm enough even without her, you build power. And every time you hold your peace when chaos invites you in, you become untouchable. Understand this. You don't attract women by trying to be perfect. You attract them by being whole. And wholeness only comes when you stop depending on someone else to fill your empty spaces. The moment you decide that your life is already full, that your energy is already rich, that your path is already meaningful, that's when you become magnetic. That's when no woman can break you, because your peace doesn't depend on her. It depends on you. That's what this mindset is about. It's not arrogance. It's not coldness. It's balance. It's the quiet power of a man who can say, I love you, but I'll still be fine if you leave. And when you can say that, and truly mean it, you've already won. When a man finally begins to understand this mindset, something subtle but powerful happens. His energy changes. He no longer reacts instantly when a woman ignores him. He doesn't chase when she pulls away. He doesn't lose his focus when someone disrespects him. Instead, he pauses. He breathes. He lets silence do what words never could, because silence, my friend, is not weakness, it's control. It's the space where power builds. Women feel that difference instantly. The old you would have panicked, texted again, asked what went wrong, begged for closure. The new you? He just smiles and gets back to work. That's the kind of calm that can't be faked. You see, women test men not because they're cruel, but because they're wired to seek emotional security. When she sees you lose composure over small things, she subconsciously knows you can't handle bigger storms. But when she sees that you can stay grounded even when she withdraws, that's when she truly feels safe around you. Ironically, she respects you more when you don't try to win her. This is why the most powerful men don't chase relationships. They attract them through discipline, not desperation. They know that the more they focus on building themselves, the more naturally the right people align with their journey. They don't need to prove their worth, they live it. Every decision, every boundary, every time they walk away from nonsense, it communicates strength louder than words ever could. But let's go deeper. This mindset isn't just about dating. It's about mastering your emotions in every part of life. When someone insults you, do you lash out or smile and move on? When plans fail, do you crumble or adapt? When people disappoint you, do you dwell or detach? That's the difference between reaction and response. And the man who responds instead of reacts is unbeatable. A man's emotional discipline is the foundation of his respect. Because when you can't control your emotions, someone else will. That's why women fall for calm men, not because they're boring, but because they represent stability in a chaotic world. Think about the modern world, full of men chasing dopamine, attention, and instant validation. Yet the one who sits quietly, focused on his purpose, is rare, and rarity is power. You don't need to be the loudest. You just need to be centered. That's what makes a woman pause. That's what makes people remember you. Your energy speaks before you do. When you're truly detached from outcome, when your happiness no longer depends on who texts back or who stays, you walk differently. There's a calm in your eyes, a weight in your presence. You've entered the realm of inner peace, the one thing every man claims to want, but few have the courage to earn. Here's a truth most men avoid. To master this mindset, you have to face loneliness. You have to sit with silence, with rejection, with boredom, without reaching for distractions. You'll have nights where you'll feel empty. You'll question everything. You'll feel the urge to chase and to fill that space again. But if you can resist, if you can just sit still and feel it, that's when transformation begins, because strength isn't built in comfort. It's forged in silence. It's built when you face yourself, when you realize that no one is coming to save you, and that's okay. Because you never needed saving. You just needed awakening. When you stop seeing women as the source of happiness and instead start seeing them as a reflection of your internal state, everything changes. The better your self-control, the better your experiences. The more grounded your emotions, the healthier your relationships. You stop attracting chaos because you no longer carry it. That's when you start understanding feminine energy for what it is: movement, emotion, flow. It's meant to test your frame, not destroy it. It's meant to soften you, not weaken you. But that only happens when you stay rooted. When your emotions are guided by principles, not impulses. You can admire beauty without losing balance. You can love deeply without losing dignity. You can feel everything and still move like a rock in the storm. The man who masters this mindset doesn't avoid pain, he transforms it. Every heartbreak becomes wisdom. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every test becomes proof that his foundation is solid. And that's what makes him untouchable. Because the truth is, women respect a man who can handle himself, not just his money or his image, but his mind. They can feel when you're not afraid to lose them.
And that fearlessness?
It's addictive. It tells her you're not playing from insecurity. You're playing from abundance. You're not trying to keep her. You're choosing her. That choice, not desperation, creates attraction. And once you live like that, no woman, no matter how beautiful, can break you again. Because you've learned the golden rule. You are the source. Your peace, your worth, your focus, it all comes from within. And when that's your foundation, you stop negotiating your value. You stop explaining your boundaries. You stop apologizing for being you. That's what real freedom feels like when your mind is yours again. When you reach this level of peace, people will start to notice, but not everyone will understand it. Some will call you cold. Others will say you've changed, and they'll be right. You have changed. You're no longer the man who reacts to every emotion. You're not the man who needs constant validation. You've become the man who moves with purpose, not pressure. See, most men think freedom means doing whatever they want, but real freedom is being in control of what wants you. You don't chase distractions anymore. You choose direction. You no longer run after attention. You command it through presence. You've stopped begging to be understood because peace doesn't need to explain itself. And that's what women find magnetic. Not the man who talks about strength, but the one who lives it. You can see it in his eyes, and calm yet firm. He listens more than he speaks. He observes more than he reacts. And when he finally does speak, people listen, because his words carry weight, born from silence, not ego. This mindset makes you untouchable because you're no longer fighting the external. You've mastered the internal. That's where real power begins, inside the space between thought and reaction. The longer you can hold that space, the stronger you become. Every challenge becomes a mirror, not a threat. Every rejection becomes data, not drama. Every woman who leaves becomes a teacher, not a tragedy. You stop seeing life as something that happens to you, and start seeing it as something that happens for you, and that shift. That's the real awakening. But let's be real. This mindset doesn't make you emotionless. It makes you emotionally elite. You still feel deeply. You still love deeply, but you're no longer dependent on the outcome. You can love without losing yourself. You can care without collapsing. That's not cold, that's powerful. Because when a man controls his emotions, he controls his world. The Stoics knew this long before us. Marcus Aurelius wrote that, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's what we're talking about. Emotional mastery, and not emotional avoidance. You don't deny feelings. You guide them. You use them as fuel for purpose. You let pain push you toward wisdom, not weakness. You let love expand your awareness, not erase your standards. You let rejection refine your vision, not ruin your peace. That's how you rise. Not by resisting the storm, but by learning how to sail through it. And once you master this mindset, something incredible happens. Your energy becomes self-contained. You no longer seek permission to be confident. You no longer wait for validation to feel valuable. You simply are. Your value isn't a debate anymore. It's a fact. Demonstrated through consistency, through calmness, through your refusal to be shaken by temporary chaos. You start operating from clarity, not confusion. From discipline, not desire. From principle, not pressure. That's what separates men who chase peace from men who embody it. And here's the truth. Women can sense this instantly. They feel your steadiness before you even speak. Because while everyone else is loud, impulsive, and reactive, you're still. You're rare, and rarity always demands respect. They might test you, they might challenge you, but deep down they know. They can't break what's already whole. You become the man who doesn't need to prove his worth through attention. You prove it through absence. When you pull away, your silence says everything. Because silence backed by strength is louder than any argument. And the beauty of it all? This mindset doesn't just protect you, it transforms you. You stop looking at women as goals and start seeing them as gifts. You no longer operate from lack, but from fullness. You don't fear losing anyone because you've already found yourself. That's why heartbreak no longer destroys you. You've built something indestructible inside, a foundation made of peace, purpose, and self-respect. Now imagine walking through life with that kind of energy, where no one's reaction can shake your direction, where no beauty can distract you from your mission, where no rejection can make you forget your value. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. You've finally mastered the art of being complete. And that's when the right woman appears. Not because you chased her, but because your energy became undeniable. She'll sense your balance. She'll feel safe, not because you control her, but because you control yourself. That's the paradox most men never understand. The more you try to hold on, the faster you lose. But the moment you let go, the right things stay, effortlessly. You've become a man guided by principle, not emotion. You've learned that true power isn't in domination. It's in direction. It's in being so stable within yourself that nothing external can make you lose your center. This is what it means to be unbreakable. Not that you never fall, but that nothing can keep you down. You've learned to transmute pain into power, rejection into reflection, and love into leadership. So when a beautiful woman enters your life, you don't lose yourself, you share yourself. You give without attachment, you love without losing control, and you stay grounded no matter what the outcome is. Because once you master this mindset, no woman, no failure, no chaos, and can ever break you again. You've become untouchable, not because you built walls, but because you built wisdom. You've become free, not because you stopped caring, but because you started choosing peace over ego. This is the highest form of strength, calm, focused, and fully alive.